That's right, I love Hasselblad. Oh wait, let me take these things off. Boop, 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 boop. Well, that's better, I can see again. Hey, this is Scott Weinkiewicz, and today I want to talk about medium format cameras. Now, I love Hasselblad cameras. I used to have a 501c, and I got rid of it years ago because I just wasn't using it like I should be. And I'm a big fan of just having the equipment that you need. For example, getting rid of a Nikon 70-200 2.8 lens when you're never using that at 2.8. Why do you have it? That's why I now have a 70-200 f4 lens, because I'm never going wider or faster than f4. So I'm a big fan of having the gear that you have. That's why I don't have a Hasselblad anymore. Now I want to talk about that and why people should not buy a Hasselblad, should not buy a Phase 1, should not buy the new Fuji. I think it's a GFX, which is even more affordable, actually, than the other medium formats. But why should somebody not buy, or what is the opportunity? When should somebody buy a medium format camera? So let's talk about that. Medium format cameras they're fantastic. They have such a high resolution and a large sensor, which gives you superior image quality over a mirrorless or even a digital SLR that's full frame. And it gives you a really intense depth of field, really high, shallow, very shallow depth of field that's just beautiful. But not everybody should have one. You shouldn't just be walking around doing street photography or just any weddings with a medium format camera. Sure, you could. No one's saying don't, but you don't have to. Don't spend that money if you're not using it for the right purpose. So the best situations for somebody to have a medium format camera are either studio work, right? Studio work, that's one. So you're doing product photography, or you're doing portraits or headshots in the studio, something like that. Or two, landscape photography. If you are a full-time landscape photographer, full-time, right? Because remember, these cameras are expensive. If you're a full-time landscape photographer, that all you're doing is photographing landscapes and then selling those prints, and if you are definitely selling all of those prints, then there's no reason to not invest in a medium format camera that gives you that far superior quality. And then anything that's commercial that was outside the studio, that is going to be used for things like billboards and large advertisement, that stuff that a medium format camera would do justice for you. Now, although I'm a fan of Hasselblad from back in the day when it was all purely mechanical, the 500 series and things like that, I'm not a fan of the new digital Hasselblad, so I'm not going to recommend that to anybody. I am going to recommend checking out the Phase 1 cameras if you are looking for a digital medium format. And if you want something on the more budget-friendly side, look at that new Fuji GFX, because it is a beautiful camera. It is compact. It's actually the size of a full-frame digital SLR, even though it is a medium format camera. So that's a beautiful thing. So that's what I have to say about that. I'm not saying go out and buy a medium format camera. I'm not saying don't. I'm saying be sure that you actually need it and you're making the money to justify having that medium format camera before you go ahead and just buy one.